Welcome back. It's time for Media Watch, and James Creedon joins me on set to take a look at the top stories in the French press today. Good evening.
Good evening indeed, Lana.
We start with French politics, and that's been a recurrent debate. Of course, the presidential campaign is in full swing. A series of debates are being held on television. Today,
that's right.
Far right meeting far left.
Des Paroles et des Actes. It's a show on France 2. And yesterday evening you had Marine Le Pen facing off. She's the far-right candidate, son, or daughter rather, of Jean-Marie Le Pen, and she was facing off with Jean-Luc Mélenchon. So you can see the two of them here, far left. Now, I think a lot of people were rubbing their hands with glee waiting for this particular duel, because
a real clash there, of course, of the two extremes.
The opposite ends of the political spectrum, and they are known not to like each other very much. Let's just say that. Jean-Luc Mélenchon is known for having a particularly fiery personality, for attacking journalists wherever he can, and indeed he got particularly annoyed with David Pujadas at one point. He said,
news presenter.
That's right, the news presenter saying, he said, are you moderating at all? Are you just sleeping on the job? He said, come on. Because
Juicy, that's good television, it sounds like.
Because Marine Le Pen was getting too much time as far as he was concerned. Now, one particularly, I suppose, tense exchange between the two was over the fact that Jean-Luc Mélenchon had insulted her on a number of occasions in previous months, calling her in particular a semi-démente. Which
half crazy, half demented.
Half demented. So certainly it was very strong language. So she said, you know what? I'm not going to debate you. Now, the whole point of these big, TV duels in the months running up to the election is that the candidates debate each other. And here they actually, she refused to interact with him. Now, the reason for that, she said, is, look, you're too low in the polls. You don't merit being
She didn't want to engage with him at all. She's been doing quite well in the polls. She's been placing third.
That's right. And she said, as somebody who represents 40% of France's working class vote, I want to talk to somebody who is a real candidate, is a real politician.
So her strategy was Jean-Luc Mélenchon was not of her caliber?
You're not at the races. And, she said, it's clear that you're going to support François Hollande, the left-leaning candidate, in the second round, so I'm not going to talk to you. And also, you've insulted me in the past, so she wasn't even talking to him, she was talking to David Pujadas. And so he came out with a joke that he'd probably already prepared. He said, look, I called you half demented, that still leaves a good half that's left. In other words,
Glass half full.
So look, it was good television, and everybody was talking about it today. It was the big TV event of last night.
Another case of good television here in France. A comedian made a prank phone call to a politician. These politicians must be used to it by now, shouldn't they?
You'd think they'd be kind of prepped for this kind of thing.
And yet it worked.
And yet it
Tell
worked.
us more.
Let's take a look on the computer here, because we've got the comedian is a guy by the name of Gérald Daron. Now, he's known for catching people out, these sort of prank phone calls. Let's take a listen to what he did to the very not well-known presidential candidate, Nicolas Dupont-Aignan. Let's take a listen. He pretended to be Eric Cantona.
Yeah.
Allô?
Allô, Dupont-Aignan?
Oui.
Bonjour, c'est Cantona.
Monsieur Cantona, je suis content de vous entendre.
Sincèrement, entre nous, vous avez confiance en qui, vous?
Bon, j'ai absolument pas confiance en Sarkozy, qui est une catastrophe ambulante.
Ouais.
Ça, non, mais c'est dramatique.
Sincèrement, de vous, moi, je pense que c'est une crapule.
Ah, mais moi, je le pense aussi.
So he tricked this guy into saying that Nicolas Sarkozy was all sorts of bad names, etc.
And he fell right into the trap.
He fell right into the trap. Now, let's take a listen to the next clip, because this was just a few days afterwards.
Allô, Nicolas Dupont-Aignan à l'appareil.
Eric Cantona, le vrai, cette fois.
Le vrai vraiment, ou parce que maintenant je fais attention.
Le vrai vraiment, c'est vrai que vous êtes un peu fort sur Sarkozy, mais bon.
Mais vous savez, quand on est... Enfin bon, bref, je ne sais plus quoi dire au téléphone.
Oui, je comprends.
Parce que j'imagine qu'on ne fait pas deux fois le même coup, mais je serais vraiment pour de retomber deux fois dans le panneau, voilà.
He fell for it twice in 1 week.
You know what they say, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I can't believe he fell for it twice.
First was Monday, second was Thursday. So a bad week for that particular guy.
But a good week for French television.
Exactly.
James Creedon, thanks very much for being with us. This is live from Paris. We're going to take a quick break, but the show continues. Don't go away. Up next, all the international headlines, including the Friends of Syria meeting that was held today in Tunisia. More than 50 Western and Arab countries present there to figure out ways to help Syria's opposition. Stay tuned for more.